It's 9 a.m. and for most people, it's the start of the workday. But today, Dubai's popular radio hosts, Kris Fade and Preity Malik, have been busy entertaining listeners since 6 a.m. And get this, they're not stopping for another 25 hours. It's all part of a mission to break the record for the UAE's longest radio broadcast ever. But the question on everyone's mind here is, will they last 28 hours? So you guys have a long way to go. What kind of preparations are required to keep you guys talking for 28 hours?
Sleep? Caffeine?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it's funny because we were talking to some sort of like doctors and specialists about it, and they said don't overdose on the coffee immediately. So I haven't actually had a coffee yet. I'm waiting because I want to wait till it's about midnight tonight and then start taking the coffee.
Okay, so what are the rules that you guys have to adhere to? What about bathroom breaks and eating and so forth?
We're allowed bathroom breaks. Yes. We're allowed to do that. There are no sleeping breaks. We're not allowed to sleep. Eating, we're allowed to eat here. So whilst we're on the radio, you may have heard of eating at some stage. That's the deal.
And I'm trying to sneak in a shopping rule because I'd love to shop while we're doing this.
I like that. I didn't think of that idea either. I've got my wife and kids coming down at some stage because I'm sure on our like 18 when I'm just over it, they're going to come around and give us that inspiration that I need.
So do you guys have a nurse on standby or something?
We do. There is a doctor. One of the medical centers have accompanied us. They're taking our blood pressure every 3 hours just to make sure that we're getting what we need. So it should be cool.
Now, what about a world record? 52 hours, you think you can do it? Well, you'd have to do 53, wouldn't you?
You know, I'm a big fan of the guy that did it as well, Moyles in the UK, and to do that, I don't want to put myself through it. And I heard a horror story of a guy that tried breaking it about 6-7 years ago. And he got up to hour like 45 and he was doing all right. And then he quit. And ever since then, he's never been the same. And that's a true story.
We'll be checking in with you guys later to make sure you're still alive, still got a voice, and that everything's going well. All the best of luck to you guys.
Thank you. And it's a pleasure to be doing it here in Dubai. We're not from here originally, but it's great to call this our home and to be able to set a record here in the Middle East. So
definitely.
Mwah!
Now, those are some dedicated employees. But let's see how other people out here compare.
9 hours is the maximum I've ever worked. I could never do 28 hours like they're doing. There's no way.
It's 12 hours.
Well, I've worked the last 10 years as a mom. So that's a 24-hour job. So I could say 10 years.
14 hours.
Probably 14 to 16 hours, but not often.
Around 18 hours.
It's almost noon. It's been 6 hours. And yet, Kris and Preity sound and look more determined than ever. But then again, they've got 22 more hours to go, so only time can tell.